I want to pull cards and look at this new thing that's come up now. Apparently, Trumpenstein's got some guy out there that is saying that, these judges should be intimidated that are ruling against him, the Supreme Court judges. These terrorists should be allowed to go and intimidate them, and Trump is following suit and continuing to post that on his Lies Central channel. So I want to look into that and just see what it has to say about Trumpenstein, the Orange Menace, the Gulag Goon, and what's going on with the Supreme Court. So what is going to happen with this, with the Supreme Court, and this idea that now they should be terrorized because they're voting in a way that he doesn't like. Judgments are coming down, he doesn't like it, so yeah. Just go ahead and terrorize them. So let's see what's under the surface of this. His insanity, the moon. This is not balanced, okay? This is somebody that's unhinged. Doesn't listen, doesn't take in information, blocking. When it comes to any kind of authority or understanding or wisdom, he continues to advocate for a dark government. And, just think that his wealth is securing him, okay, when it comes to the message about these actions. So let's see what the reading's about. It's a tower moment, okay? Crash and burn time when it comes to what is being worked on. The happenings behind the scene with his actions that he's pursuing, okay? When it comes to these overseas things that he's trying to implement. Now, this was in relationship to you can't hold people forever without due process, okay? So the action is wanting to overturn this, suspend what's being said. When it comes to the message about concrete things, and, this holding on to the truth, the power, the drama. Now, this is him wanting to, again, rule the roost and tell them what they're going to do, what they're going to think, what they're going to rule on. Okay? So what's going on now, it's what's being offered up. And what's been hidden, so let's go ahead and see what's hidden. Yeah, the Republican Party, the uber right, this is the Scotus, okay? Their uber right leanings that they had, what's being offered up. They gave him immunity, okay? And so now we have this fight for truth coming out. So the challenge is this wanting to distance, walking away from their rulings. Okay? And rapidly, the restrictions that are being placed on Trumpenstein and his actions when it comes to no due process. Potential outcome is feeling losses. When it comes to what's being offered from the past, the things that are coming, and investigating, looking deeper into these things. Extra information is about the lid is off, seeing what's there, loss of compassion, etc. What's being birthed, what he's trying to be bringing, the past drama, and the things he's trying to birth, an investigation into a victory. Investigation into the victory. So, again, the lid is off when it comes to compassion, etc., what's happening, what he's trying to birth and gain a victory with. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at this. The foundation is his actions overseas and about controlling the narrative, the truth, the fight for truth, restrictions that have been coming, that have been investigated, looking deeper into his toxicity, what's there, and putting these restrictions, which of course he doesn't like at all. So what's being worked on was this concrete message from the uber right, the hidden uber right, rapidly about these choices being made, the past things coming up, okay? Which he's saying, on the QT, advocating for them to be terrorized and intimidated, because above it all, we have the tower moment, overturning the things he wants to offer in his insanity and feeling these losses. Okay? So it's just, we'll just go and intimidate them. Okay? So the four corners, we have the tower moment of losses and investigating how this is moving forward when it comes to his just wanting to ship people off to the gulags with no recourse for anything. So the center of it, what's hidden is the uber right, the message, concrete message rapidly emerging. Okay? It's about what's being offered up and the fight for this truth. It's about overturning these things with restrictions, hanging him up with restrictions, and the truth, the nasty truth of his delusion that he's in, okay, with the uber right, okay, the conspiracy theories, the other dramas that's going on. So when we come to the message being put out, what's being worked on by the uber right, it's a tower moment when it comes to fighting for the truth, is what they're saying. We need to just get rid of these people without any due process, and a message about overturning the strong truth that's coming out, and about going forward with what's being offered up. So what's coming into play rapidly is, again, the uber right and their past agenda, the things that they're holding out for, the delusion he has when it comes to being restricted. What's being offered is an investigation, looking deeper and the fight for truth when it comes to his facing losses. The losses he is facing. Okay, being driven by his insanity, not listening, not taking in, when it comes to authoritative information that he's being provided with the message of going forward and the struggle that they're in. So let's go ahead and do a clarifying read and see what it says about this. About Trumpenstein and his minions, his flying monkeys that are out there saying, oh yeah, the Supreme Court, they need to loose these terrorists on them and intimidate them and get them to do your bidding. Yeah. So how's that going to work out? These ones are getting more and more radical. The center of it, it's the pain of all this, okay? The pain, the truth. The pain when it comes to the truth. With the new actions. That are being shared. Okay, what these people are talking about amongst themselves. Okay, this emotional drama they continue to put out. And it's a tower moment when it comes to a new action and talking about this mental and emotional pain they want to inflict. The things that, again, trying to get away with. Okay? What they're trying to carry. When it comes to this intimidation, because they don't like what's coming down, okay? They don't like it being restricted. So we have this idea that their wealth can control the situation when it comes to democracy. They want to overturn democracy with the wealth of the drama and with what's hidden. Again, let's see what's hidden. What they're trying to birth, okay, under the surface, the painful, they don't like what the system is, okay? So the uber right wealthy ones are seeing a tower moment, new actions when it comes to democracy and the theft. They're trying to get away with it, and they're sharing what's being offered up when it comes to the actions that he's doing, the choices being made, and a lot of concern about it with the actions he's taken by the court, and justice, okay? Above it, justice. Looking at the hidden agenda they're trying to birth, the pain of it, and not liking what's there. Okay, so they're putting pushback. And so the ones in the uber right are trying to say it's a tower moment when it comes to the action, and they're trying to offer up this thing about intimidating the judges. Okay, so when it comes to democracy, the theft that they're trying to do, when it comes to the actions, there's a lot of concern with that path by the Justice Department. They are in an agreement about what is being offered, what's being put out there. In his lies central the message about actions when it comes to this abuse of power, attempted to control, but the wheel is turning. Okay, again, we have karma is going to come into play. So it's kind of a line in the sand is being drawn at this time when it comes to this authoritarian type of fascism that they're trying to bring in. and intimidate the Scotus. And somehow I have a feeling that it's not going to bode well for Trump and Stein in promoting that. Okay? I just feel like, the Lord giveth away. Scotus giveth, and Scotus taketh away. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I would say, how is this working for Trump? Well, in the center of it comes out the card for Trump. Trumpenstein is facing what? Losses and being restricted. So that's how that's going to work out for him. Threaten Scotus, and you're going to find out you're going to face even more losses and even more restrictions. So yeah, how's that working for you? Brilliant ones. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.